Hey, what's up? I'm VB. This is gonna be the Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. It's a decently long run, so I would, get comfy. And I'm ready to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, like I said, this is Four Swords Adventures. It's pretty long, 2.5 hours, but it's a really exciting speed game with a lot of tech, and it's really different from a lot of other Zelda speedruns you might have seen. The main thing that separates this game from pretty much every other Zelda game is that it's level-based. You have to go through 8 worlds with 3 levels in each world. So that's kind of why the run's longer, because you have to go through every level. So basically, you need to get 2,000 gems, which are this game's currency, like rupees, in every level, and get to the end. And there's a lot of tech and glitches in this game that let you do that, because of the main mechanic of this game, which is you can control all 4 links at once, which is the main gimmick. So there's going to be a lot of really cool tech that comes as a part of that. But first there's a 5-minute intro where nothing happens, which is awesome. So like I said, I'm VB, I run this game. In a bit, in theory, I'm going to have couch members, or couch member. He's stuck in traffic, or he's just taking a while, I guess, but he'll be here. So yeah, for now we can just get comfy. So I guess to go over some of the more fundamental stuff about this game is on this game's on GameCube. I'm playing it on a Wii, and for the control method I'm playing with a GameCube controller, and I'll get into why that is later, but it is fastest. The other controller method you can do is you can hook a Game Boy SP, or just Game Boy up with one of these type of cables. But that's slower to do for speedruns, and I'll get into why that is when we actually get into the game. But just know that that's what that is. So here's the actual first inputs needed. It's just mashing text. To explain text mashing in this game, the only button that advances text is A. So basically you just need to try and mash A as fast as possible. So something that's also going to be very apparent is that I'm playing on the Japanese version. And for a lot of these Zelda games, or a lot of games in general, you play on the Japanese version for faster text, because it takes less time for text to appear. And that does save some time in this game. I think it saves like 30 seconds overall. Most of the text goes by text box, and not by character, so it doesn't save as much time. The exception to that would be in the intro, where some of it does scroll text box by text box, so you save most of your time on intro. The real reason we play on JP is because of some exclusive glitches that I'll be doing later. Coming up is going to be the hardest trick in the entire game. If I can do this, we're definitely in there, as they say. It's going to be pulling the Master Sword from the pedestal. If I can do this, we're all clear. The reason this is hard, and I'm not joking, this is actually pretty tricky, is because it's a yes or no text box, and it defaults to no. So I have to move the text, I have to flick the control stick while mashing, and it can be pretty tricky, so hopefully I pull the Master Sword. Alright, we're in there. Or, sorry, it's the 4 sword, because it splits us in 4. And now it's 4 Swords Adventures. Before it was just Sword Adventures. So, this is Vadi. He's, I guess, the main villain of this game, as well as the main villain of Minish Cap. And I think the original 4 Swords, but that's a really bad game, and we don't talk about it, so yeah. Just a bit more text, and then I'll be through. So going into level 1, you're going to see that the main movement tech in this game is rolling. Rolling is really important. But, so in this game you control all 4 links at once, unless you drop them and control 1. and you can switch between them. So something that's really important with controlling 4 links at once is formations. You can get the links into different formations, and the quickest way to do that is with the C stick. So see right there, I had them in the vertical line, and here I'm going to have them in the box formation. And that's all. You do that by flicking the C stick. So that's why you play on GameCube controller as opposed to the Game Boy connected to the TV, because you can't do quick formations because the Game Boy doesn't have a C stick. So the item I picked up there is the boomerang. Items are pretty unique in this game in that you just pick up one, and it's on your button. You can see in the top left. And you just have that item until you pick up another one. Like I'm going to do right here. This is a trick where I lift a rock out of nowhere and pick up a fire rod. I don't know how it works. The fire rod in this game is pretty cool because you get to burn everything. So whenever I pick up a big rock like I just did, I can cancel the animation of lifting it up and throwing it by just reuniting the party. I need to wait. If I'm in radius of that shockwave attack, I'll get stunned, which happened because I got owned by that Octorok. He blocked the path, but that's fine. Coming up is going to be the first major skip of the run. It's called Out of Bounds. So basically, this is a frame-perfect trick where if I press X on the first frame, I have control. Like that. Third try's not too bad. The links other than green get placed, they get displaced on the previous screen. So it lets me get up to that bridge early, and that saves a lot of time. I think it saves about a minute in this level. It is a really frustrating trick to do because it is frame perfect, and this game is 60 FPS. And there isn't really that great of a queue for it. But, you know, we make it work. There's a few of those in the run. So this is what happens when you get 2,000 gems. Your sword powers up. And that does a few things. It, first off, just increases your damage output. Your sword does more damage. It lets you shoot sword beams. And most importantly, it lets you break the barrier at the end of the level. I can't break that unless I've gotten 2,000 gems. So, that was 1-1. That was pretty good. That level can be really frustrating because it has the OOB at the beginning, which is the frame-perfect trick with the GBA screens. So I guess to explain what GBA screens are is if you were playing this game on a GBA connected to the TV, those screens would show up on your Game Boy instead of just on the TV. But since I'm not playing with that, it just shows up on the TV in like a little mini screen. So in the beginning of this level, I'm going to do attempt a trick called a freeze clip. When certain actions happen in this game, the game freezes, as we call it, and you can't control anything, but you can buffer C-stick inputs. So when I put out this fire here, which is what you do during this puzzle, I'm going to buffer C-right, and that'll, in theory, let me clip into the door if I can get it. Yeah, like that. So during the freeze frames, I was holding C-right. I did not mean to do that. And that let me clip into the door. And this is wrong way block pushing. If you do formations up against a rock... Hello? Hello? This is really odd. Why is this not working? There we go. If you do formations up against a rock, you can push them the wrong way. So the gimmick in this room is that the rocks can only get pushed by the color link that it corresponds with. But if you do formations, as long as one of the links of that proper color is pushing on it, it's all good. Oh god. If I got knocked into that pit, that would be really bad. But, you know, it's all okay now. In this level, the gem route can be kind of tight. It shouldn't be too bad, though. I think I'm good. And there's a few backups I can get to if things go awry. So this is a bat mini boss, I guess. It's a million times harder than it looks, because the bow mechanics in this game are awful. And sometimes the bows just don't come out like there, or the arrows just don't come out. So this gem here alternates between being green and purple. I want to pick it up when it's purple, because purple is 300 gems, while green is only 100. This is a little maze. It's always just right, left, right. I'm going to pick up this 100 right here. Pull the lever, the most exciting part. And we're into our first Shadow Link fight. So the way Shadow Link fights work is he'll transform into a random Link color, and you have to hit him with the color that corresponds to whichever one he hit, or he turns into. When you have an item, these fights aren't really that bad because you can stun him, like I'm going to do here with the bow. But if you go into a Shadow Link fight without an item, it can be really awful. So in 1-3, 1-3 is one of the hardest levels in the entire game, because it has two extremely difficult tricks back to back. Right at the start, there's going to be a trick called Owl Skip, which is a more minor skip. It's not one of the hard ones. But it basically just skips an owl attack trigger. That was really good. So to explain the first trick, it's going to be small key skip. Basically, I need to get a GBA out of bounds, which is the trick I did in the first level with the bridge. But I'm going to use another mechanic where glitch, where I roll, basically I use my roll momentum to get up onto the ledge. And it's all really hard, and I could explain it, but just, I do some stuff and stuff happens. That's all you really need to know. I will be focusing for it though, because it's pretty difficult. I accidentally did a spin attack. Spin attacks in this game can be really odd with the way they work. Okay. And it can mess up the way that trick works. There we go. That fight can be really annoying if things get out of hand. I was able to contain them mostly, but they were kinda annoying. This is the other hard trick. It's called barrier skip. Basically, I'm doing a technique that you're going to see a lot throughout this run. It's something called formation menu clipping. And the way it works is, so the way you do, I've been doing quick formations the whole run, which is clicking the C stick. Hold on. Oh. The way you're supposed to do formations is you open up that little menu and you choose a formation. I don't know why that didn't work. But you can actually use that menu to clip through actors if you open and close it repeatedly. But it's all really precise. Every buffer is, I think, like a 4-frame window or 3-frame window. Also, what I'm doing here is you need to tap Y really quickly in succession to start off this trick. But I'm using the pause menu to buffer it. Yeah, I dropped my inputs there. I'm going to refresh the screen so I can heal. This is what 1-3 normally looks like, you just failing tricks over and over again. Because it's all really stupid and precise. I don't know why that didn't work. The final input of this is also pretty hard too. I'll get it eventually. I need to buffer 1 frame there. I only buffered. Or I buffered 2. This is one of the hardest tricks in the run. There's a lot of really frame precise things. I know I joked about this earlier with Master Sword, but if I can get through this, I will definitely be in there. There we go. That was an experience. So that skips having to open this barrier right here. Oh, okay. Which is good, because that takes forever. It doesn't take as long as failing the skip for 3 minutes, though, but you know. Sometimes... Oh, that was odd. Sometimes in life, that's what happens. This is a trick called jump storage. It lets you jump across the screen. It's pretty cool. So this boss, there's a strat to 2-cycle him. It's not very precise, like timing-wise or anything, but it is something you can fail if you mess up. Basically, you're trying to poke him to not get up by poking him with your sword. Oh, yeah. I meant to do a jump slash there, but the input failed. The input for jump slashing is actually really tricky. He'll die here. So the way jump slashing works is you have to press movement direction and B, and it's a 2-frame window to do a jump slash actually, so it is something you can fail. We're out of 1-3, which is the hardest level in the run, probably. At the end of every world, so every 3 levels, there's this like minute-long cutscene where you free the maiden. So if there's any donations, this is a really good time.
At the moment, we currently do not, so I do want to also say thank you to anyone who has donated already. It's going to a great cause, which is, again, St. Jude Children's Hospital. Great cause, you know. There's lots of kids who are suffering through some really, you know, bad things like cancer, so what they do is fantastic. So we do appreciate every donation that you guys give, and if you do donate, not only do you help people, but you can put it towards different incentives, and there's some pretty cool ones coming up, especially later today. So definitely check those out, and definitely, you know, if you want your donation right now is the time to do it.
Tomorrow morning is the Castlevania DS Bid War, and if I may suggest donating to Order of Ecclesia, the best Castlevania game of all time, I would highly recommend donating to that, for that. So Out of World 1 was a bit shaky, but hopefully, you know, move on.
We actually now have a $49 donation from Font 8 saying, "Hey guys."
Hi. So coming up at the start of 2-1 here, after the screen is going to be a formation menu clip to get past the lady in the house. Normally you're supposed to go in the caves around her, but you can get through her. And what that lets you do is it lets you carry the slingshot through the level. And normally you're supposed to have bombs to blow up the walls. But if you do this clip right here, you can get through her. That's the only major trick in this game I've ever found. So yeah, that's a fun fact for you. So that lets me have quickly carry slingshots into this fight. And having slingshots here is really good because doing Zoras with bombs is awful. So the Zoras, when they pop up, is RNG. This is looking pretty good. Oh, yeah. Oh, what? Oh, I didn't know that one was still alive. That's still pretty good Zoras overall. That can take a while. When they pop up is RNG, but they're in the same place every time. Alright. Okay. So here I'm going to try and do a trick. Alright, cool. So that was a trick called like clipping. So if you stun a like while a link is inside of it, you can move all across the screen, and basically walls don't exist when you're in that state. So I use that to get up out of bounds here, and that just allows me to do faster movement through the screen. So these Nova Bomb screens, if you're on the main screen at all, when the bomb reaches 0, you die. Instantly, no matter how much health you have. This screen can be really annoying because there's so much grass, and grass gets in your way. So there's a strat I'm going to attempt to kill all 3 of these guys at once. Nice, nice. I'm a little low on gems, which is kind of concerning. But, I'll think of something. I can get this 100 right here. But I'll have to pick up some backup ones. I went 1500 before going into the mini-boss. And speaking of which, the mini-boss of this, stage, or I guess he's just the boss of this stage, is the Lobster. That's what we call him. He probably has a real name, but he's the Lobster. The way he works is you need to hit him with each... Oh, that was cool. With each individual color link once. Kind of like the Shadow Links, I guess. Alright, and good. Please. Every time you hit him, he starts spinning in a random direction. So you have to react to that, and it can be really annoying. Yeah, that was 2-2. So next level has a relatively new trick called gem duping. So gem duping is pretty much what it sounds. You can duplicate gems, which is really helpful, but it's not as helpful as it might sound because you need really specific conditions to do it. 2-2 is one of the levels where you can do it. So, also in 2-2, 2-2 is a pretty infamous level, I guess, because normally you have to do this whole big trading quest, but because this is Four Swords Adventures, you can skip all of it, pretty much. And the method to skip all of it is actually extremely easy. So whenever you call a link to you, they ignore gaps. So you can just go up there and do that, and getting up to that ledge, skip the whole level. Normally you need to do a whole trading quest to get the Rock's Feather to jump across that gap, but you can just do that. Thankfully there's a Rock's Feather so we can jump back. So coming up is going to be the gem dupes. I'm going to want to focus because it is another frame perfect precise thing. I forget if I needed to grab that, but just in case. So that's the gem I'm going to be duping. Basically, I need to try and leave the screen the same frame I grab it. And there's like a setup to get it. But it is still a frame perfect input. That was 1. 2. Alright, cool. So I didn't accidentally grab the gem and not dupe it, which would have been really bad.
Do I have time for donations real quick?
Yeah, sure. This is well, real quick, let me just say, this is a Shadow Link fight. There's 2 of them this time, only one of them is real. It's RNG, which one is real or not. That's pretty much it. Same as the other one. Yeah, you can read our donation.
Alrighty. We have $20 from Font 8. Simply says Kappa Pride. And we also have $50 from Amita Maru. It says, here's $50 for a good cause. Also, can someone recommend me a good sci-fi movie? Greetings from Austria. BB, do you know any good sci-fi movies?
I don't know, dude.
I feel like it might be a bit obvious, but if you haven't seen The Fifth Element, you should definitely see it if you're into sci-fi movies.
Excuse me.
You know,
So in 2-3 is going to be the first usage of a glitch called zombie storage, which is, I guess, one of the more visually entertaining glitches in the run. Basically, the way it works is I need to get the out of bounds trick right here. Nice, first try. So again, out of bounds is a frame perfect thing. You have 1 frame to press X. And then I need to die. This is an intentional death. And what this will do is it'll store the death animation for the links that are out of bounds right now. So their death animation is now stored. So when I die next time, I need to die in a very specific, difficult way though. So let me set this up. Okay, we're good. So next time the links die, green is going to be just, he's going to die and come back like normal. But the other links are going to die afterwards, a little later. Because green's back, the game thinks, okay, everything's okay. But actually, they're dead. So they're moving around now in the wall. And zombie links just don't have regular collision. Normally when you're in a wall like that, you're supposed to avoid. But that just doesn't happen when you're a zombie. So now I need to very carefully move the zombie link over to the door. And not get clipped in myself. Good, good. Okay. Now I need to die one more time. And move up. And that skips basically the whole level. Normally it's supposed to get the bow and the lamp. But that skips needing both of them. That's a huge time saver. This is the tile room. It's basically an auto-scroller. Something I guess to mention is these numbers, whenever I kill something, are, it's my combo meter. So I want to, if you keep a higher combo, you get gem drops from the sky. So it would be nice if I could keep a higher combo, because it means I'll get more gems. I'll be fine either way. I want to have 2,000 before the boss here, before the boss of this level though. Because I can get a 1 cycle if I have the powered up sword. What can get a 1 cycle, being the keyword. It's pretty difficult. But it would be nice to at least have the opportunity to. Uh-oh. Those wizards steal your gems. So they can be pretty obnoxious. The rat AI in this game, those rat enemies you just saw, their AI can be actually really ridiculous. Yadra121, who's making a task of this game, found out that the rats can react to your movement within like a frame or two. So they know what you're doing sometimes before even you do, really. So this boss, phase 1 is you need to use the boomerang to get the little mini rocks off of him. I'm also going to grab hearts because I don't want to die in the game. And I should get, yeah, powered up sword here, which is good. Powered up sword before phase 2 of this fight means I can attempt the 1 cycle. 1 cycle is pretty precise though. Basically you need to get double hits with your sword, which you can do by doing spin attacks on him. Nice, I got it. So that was the freest 1 cycle of all time. Completely free trick. So that's the end of World 2. That was actually a pretty good World 2. This one's actually been pretty solid, except for the thing that wasn't really solid. So, you know, that's how life goes sometimes. Again, donations would be really nice right now. If not, I'll just tell you to donate to Order of Ecclesia, or for Order of Ecclesia in the DS Binia Vid War again. Because you should do that, because it's a good game. So World 3 is actually my favorite world in the entire game. I like all 3 levels a good bit. 3.1 does have an OOV, and that's kind of lame, but other than that, I really like all the levels here. There's a lot of rooms in this game where it's just kill all the enemies before you can get through. Yeah, so a lot of this run is trying to optimize that, and that's where a lot of the RNG comes in, is enemy movement patterns. Here I'm going to do a trick called a formation hover. Nice. So basically, if you get into a formation, you can kind of get stuck on the wall there and hover across the gap. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Okay. Oh god. Shook's been giving me trouble recently, and I don't know why. Basically, you try and open the chest in midair. There we go. Not too bad. So my health's kind of low, and that's actually really scary. Because if I die at a bad time here, that'll be really bad. So basically, I'm trying to carry this medallion to a certain room. Because it'll... Hold on. I'm going to need to focus, because I really don't want to die. Oh god, this is bad. Give me the hearts, please. Okay. Okay. So I want to take the medallion to this room, and I'll throw it, and that'll kill every enemy on screen. The intended way to do this is to push the house around, because that's the only other way to kill these enemies without the hammer. But that's really slow, so it's better to just carry the medallion through. So coming up is the Cyclopses. They actually have like a lot of health compared to other stuff in this game, so they can be hard to kill. Especially when there's 3 of them.
We have
pretty good. Oh, sorry. I was just saying that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it was very good actually.
Thank you.
We have a $1 anonymous donation that says because you told me to.
Okay. So here's another OOB, which I got first try, which was really nice. And this is a super jump. When you get on out of bounds ledges, the ledge mechanics can get kind of wonky, and you can do really big jumps like that, which was really nice because it lets you skip basically an entire area, which is like a little maze. So here I'm going to attempt a trick. It's called Disco Gems. Nice, I got it. So if you pick up all those gems at the same time, it tries to do the pickup animation for them. But it can't do all 4 at once, so the gems just kind of spin above you. So that was a pretty good 3-1, actually. Except for the parts that weren't good again, but you know. Just, you know, life goes on. So at the start of 3-2, there's going to be another owl skip like I did in 1-3. It's just moving my links around at a cutscene trigger so that the owl doesn't spawn, because only the active link can activate cutscene triggers like that. And the active link, whenever you're all together, is always green. So as long as green doesn't step in the cutscene trigger, it's fine. This is another trick called a freeze clip. It's similar to the thing I did near the beginning in the first cave level, 1-2. I use it to clip down and skip most of this room. I do need to grab a Rock's Feather, though, which is the item that lets you jump. So in this room, my movement has to be really tight. I already think I can't make it, but there's a gem here. Yeah, let me just do this. There's a gem here that's on a cycle. It switches between being green and being purple. Oh gosh. Oh, I did a small clip there. If you do a C left spin attack, you can clip through that those pegs. And that skips you to get the hammer, which is a small time save. So I want to pick up that gem when it's on purple. If you move really fast, you can make a quick cycle on it. But I was a few cycles slow because I took my time just to be safe. A lot of this level is stuff that isn't too hard, but if you lose time in this level, it can really snowball. So I just want to try and play it a little safe for a marathon. So here I'm going to do a glitch called a floating link glitch. So basically, if a Link is holding something when he's in the air, he won't fall to the ground. He'll just float. And that isn't as useful as it sounds because collision for stuff like pits extends upwards. So if you do floating link glitch and you walk over a pit, you'll still just fall in. But what I did there was the screen transition actually extends up above the cave entrance. So I was able to float up just slightly above the cave entrance and trigger the screen. So this is a really cool trick. So that bomb, when it explodes, it works just like a Nova bomb. I'll die if it goes off. But what I'm doing now is I'm using that text to stay invincible. And that's the other reason I wanted to pick up that gem when it was purple in the other screen. So I didn't use up that text. So this room, the boulders are RNG. Oh. Okay. But I can do a hover across that gap and pick up that boulder. Because the boulders didn't fall in the gap. Here's going to be another formation menu clip to get through this fire. Nice. And this is the first Shadow Link fight. Yeah, this is the first Shadow Link fight that has 4 links in it. So again, which one it is random. I don't know which one is real. So I just gonna have to hope. It's this one. This animation is how you can tell which one is real. Okay. You can barely skip this owl text if you do a precise jump slash around that corner, but it's fine. Not a very long cutscene. I'm gonna grab hearts before this boss fight. Again, just to be safe. Better safe than sorry. This is the Home Rock King. Phase 1, you need to throw bombs and get him stuck in the cave and knock his helmet off. Hit him 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And second phase, you can get a 1 cycle. It's another one that's pretty precise. Nice, I got it. So your damage on that guy has to be really, really precise to, your jump slashes has to be really precise to get the 1 cycle, so I got it. So I got both of the difficult 1 cycles, World 2, 1 cycle, and that boss's 1 cycle are both really difficult. So I'm happy about that at least. So something to note about 3.3 is it has these fire bars all over the place. And something that can be useful in a speedrun is their hitbox. The ones that are on a cycle that go off and on, their hitbox actually disappears before the animation does. So you can go a little earlier than what it looks like. Here's going to be a trick called a wall-less gap skip. Basically, you throw your Link across the gap and do a precise jump slash. And purple hits the other platform such that, for a brief second, such that when he respawns when falling in the gap, he respawns on the other platform. What am I doing? I'm going there. So coming up is going to be the Rock's Feather skip. It's really easy. It works the same way as the big skip in 2-2. When you call your links to you, they avoid gaps. So you just use that to get onto that platform. Kill that guy. So I'm using the invincibility from knocking my other links into the platform to move through these fire bars quickly. So I'm going to throw this link into the lava, and when he pops out, he'll pick up that gem. This is one of the first really annoying Shadow Link fights. If the real one is one of the two in the center, that's really good, because I can kill it basically right away. But if not, things could get really ugly. All right, it was that one. That's good. Bad. So something I haven't mentioned yet is whenever you pick up a big gem, there's that animation where the Link holds it above his head. If you're holding an item or another Link, you can skip that. So that's something I'm going to try and do throughout the run. Whoa. That was funky. So the Dodongos are a really annoying fight because you can only attack them when they open their mouths. And they move around randomly and open their mouths randomly, and it's awful, and everyone hates it. Why'd I switch to red? Whatever. And this guy needs to open up. Open up. Come on. Open up. Come on. Thank you. Gonna go for a trick here. Okay, never mind. There's a really precise cutscene skip you can do there using a tech called Formation Menu Clip Rolls, which works similarly to Formation Menu Clip. But the way FMC rolls work is you have to roll into the object, and then your buffers, they aren't a 4-frame window, everyone is frame perfect. So you have to do a couple of frame perfect buffers in a row there to get through that fire. That skip's going outside to talk to the owl, but you know, it's not a big deal. So donations would be really good right now if there are any.
No new ones, but I do want to mention the $1 anonymous donation that I read last also went towards Order of Ecclesia, which is currently in last place out of the 3 games for the DS Castlevanias. So if you want to make VB's wish come true, you gotta bring in those donations. Currently, Portrait of Ruin is in the lead.
Oh, that's cool. How much does it have? Because how much? Yeah, what are
Portrait
the
of Ruin has $35.
Oh, nice.
And Order of Ecclesia has $6.
Okay. So in 4-1, it starts off with an escort mission. You need to bring Malin back to the house. But if you do this, you can't really get hit by the fire, which is neat. You need to move carefully because Malin can get stuck on the trees, which would be bad. And here's a cool tech that's useless. So you can jump slash over the cutscene trigger and bring Malin into the house, and when she gets in the house, she gets all glitchy. That's Malin. So basically what that did is Talon's like, thanks for saving my daughter. You can use my horses now. But I'm actually not going to use the horse yet. I'm going to carry it through this section. We'll see why in a second. Basically what they intended for you to do here was carry the horse through, or use the horses through this part. But I'm just going to save the orb and use it for later because you were intended to do a little quest to get the bow in this level. And use that to kill Gomas, which is like the goal. If you kill all the Gomas, the dude gives you his shovel, and you can use that to get to the end of the level. But if you take the horses with you, you can just trample the Gomas with your horse. So that's really nice. So there is actually a gem dupe in this level, but I will be picking up gems anyway. Just in case I fail the gem dupe. Because this gem dupe's different from the other one. It can be really tricky. That 1000 gem over there is what I'm going to try and do. So you need 2,000 gems. So if you can dupe at 1,000 once, you're in the clear for gems for a level, which is really nice. Let's see if I get this. This is another tough frame perfect input. Nice, I got it. So that was the 1,000 gem dupe. Cool that I got to show that off. It saves a bit of time. So coming up is the first Jewel Soldier fight. The Jewel Soldiers are just a plot device, I guess. You need to collect the 4 jewels, and they unlock something. I don't know. They don't actually do anything. They're just a collectible. In fact, I'm going to try and skip one of them later. But whenever you get a jewel, there is a long cutscene, so another good time for donations. This game actually has a really cool art style. It's like a combination of Link to the Past with the particle effects from the GameCube. It also has the Wind Waker style Toon Link. So that's another cool thing about this game. I actually think this game is really underappreciated as a single player game. A lot of people really like it co-op, but generally say the single player is not too great. But I think the single player is really fun for casual and speedrunning. So the level coming up is a pretty infamous one. It's the Swamp. It's famous for having a lot of really technical tricks. But first there's an owl. This is the only owl can't skip really in RTA. There is a skip, but doing it and having it be faster for RTA is next to impossible. And coming up is going to be the final GBA out of bounds in the run. If I can get this score in the clear for these. This one's really annoying though because you have to do it while the Nova Bomb is going off on screen. So again, this is the frame perfect X input. There we go. I had to wait a bit just to make sure that I didn't get owned by the Nova Bomb. So now I have the Rock's Feather, and I'm going to be trying to make a really tight lily pad cycle in this room. Nice. And this horde fight is really odd because if you kill the main dude, all the other ones die as well. But I got destroyed by the bush, which is the final boss of this game. And there's some more precise throws here to skip over parts of the room. And a really precise jump here. Nice. And there's a glitch called swamp jumping, where basically you can get a double jump off the water if you buffer a C direction, or something like that, during your, when you're jumping. And there's going to be another swamp jump here. This one also saves a lot of time. Basically, it skips a whole side quest where you need the power bracelet. Or, yeah, it skips having to do a quest to get a... You get the power bracelet early. That's the point of what I'm trying to say here. But it all went pretty well. And this screen's dark, and on this TV, I can't really see anything, but I'll make it work. Wait, I'm in the wrong spot? Okay, that's fine. Normally on my TV at home, I can like sort of see where I am on screen doing this part, but I can't really see it all here, but that's fine. So this fight, you need to wait for him to go into a light spot, not that spot, and slash him. Cool. And that was the swamp. That was actually a pretty good swamp. Everything went pretty swimmingly. So 4-3, the next level, is one of two levels that doesn't have any glitches. One of the levels that doesn't have any glitches is really boring, but 4-3 is not that one. 4-3 is really exciting and has really fast movement, at least for the first part. So whenever I'm outside the castle here, there are these spotlights, and if I get caught, I lose like a minute, which would be bad. Again, only green link matters for being caught. It's similar to cutscene triggers, or only the active link. So whenever all four are together, green is considered the active link. Actually, when I'm in a formation, they're all active, so I can't really formation there, or else I'll get caught. So 4-3 is really cool, and I like it a lot, but one of the things that's bad about it is it has maybe the tightest gem route in the entire game. There's a very real possibility of not having 2,000 after the boss. I should be good because I actually got a lot of 20s in the outside area. A lot of this level from here on out is cycle based. These anti-fairy enemies that move around, you want to try and avoid them. And they're kind of on a cycle type thing. So I need to get bow for one reason. You can almost get bow. You need it to light the torches in the next room. You're supposed to have it for this room, or not this room, the room I was in before, to light up the platforms, but you don't technically need it. It just helps. If you know where to go, you can move on the platforms without it. I'm also getting destroyed by the anti-fairies. GG. Outplayed me. This is also for safety, but oh, never mind. Hold on, I need to see something. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. No, I got destroyed. Okay. I want the thing that's in that chest, but it's just a safety measure. And then can I go this way? Okay. Now I know where I'm going again. Okay. We're good. I actually did need the bow for that room after all. So I wanted to pick up that heart container. Heart containers in this game don't carry over from level to level. So right now I have 5 hearts, but when I enter the next level I'll have 4 again. So that's why they're not really as useful, but it can be good because they do fully restore your health. And the boss coming up does have the potential to be really annoying and do damage. So I am going to be good on gems. I have a high amount going to the boss. But that was because I got really good luck in some of the gem drops. So this boss, you need to light all 4 torches, and then you can hit him. And I guess something interesting is the inner side in the core, I guess, of this boss. Most bosses in this game have HP, and different attacks will do different amounts of damage. Like, for example, jump slash will do more than just a regular slash. But for this boss, for whatever reason, he only works on a hit count, so you need to hit him 3 times every cycle, and it doesn't matter what you hit him with. So I just do a sword poke, because that's easiest. It's also really important that I don't get caught in his spotlight, because that would make him do an attack where it makes me not able to hit him or light torches for a pretty long time, so it's important I avoid that. Because of that, I really need to be conscious of where all my links are at any given time. Because if I accidentally switch to a link while it's under the spotlight, that'll activate the attack. That makes me not able to hit him. But he's dead now, thankfully. So another end of world cutscene. That was really good meshing for part of that. That was really fast. Text mashing in this game can be really hard because because this game's 60 FPS, and there's only one button that can advance text, there's basically no limit to how fast you can mash. So basically just, for a human, you just want to try and go as fast as you can. So 5-1 is, I guess, a pretty unique level, because most of the levels in this game, whenever you skip everything, there's usually a pretty good source of gems to compensate for the fact that you skipped everything. This is kind of weird. Not really in 5-1. 5-1 is kind of the scavenger hunt level, where you need to find the gems that you're missing out on because you skip everything. So this is the big skip in 5-1. Another gap skip there. You're supposed to use the key that I got on the Rock's Feather, but because we can get across this gap with our Rock's Feather, that means I have an extra key to work with. And that means I can skip pretty much everything, because I have a key and a Moon Pearl, which is all I need to get to the end. And this is a reverse gap skip, which can be kind of annoying, but I think we got through fine. Or not, never mind. I thought that would work fine. Surprised that didn't work, actually. There we go. So this room, I need to be really on point with my movement, because I killed those two Shadow Links. And their 2 gems are there now. But they will go away after enough time, so if I'm not quick enough, they'll go away before I can pick them up. I should be good. Yeah. It's pretty tight, but I made it. So a glitch I did was, whenever you enter the portal, Dark World, this different music plays. And it's supposed to stop playing when you go back to the regular world. But if you pick up an item and then quickly leave the screen, it doesn't stop playing. So that's what's going on now. I think this music actually fits this level a lot better, because it's like dark and dreary. This is the rock. It's one of the main sources of gems. We really want red gems to drop from it. As many as possible, actually. That looks like okay RNG. It's RNG what you get from the rocks. And these are the bees. They're 50 each. So I think I'm gonna be good on gems. Yeah, I should be fine.
Mind if I read a donation real quick?
Yeah, I'm just going to the end of the level right now.
Alrighty. We have a $100 donation from Jacob. Simply says, money for a good cause. For the kids. Thank you, Jacob.
For the kids. So I'm a little short on gems, but I'm actually just short enough that I get to do my favorite backup. It's actually slower than doing the normal backup, but I actually really like this backup, and I'm going to do it anyway. So here's a Nova Bomb screen. The strat to make it through in one cycle is kind of tight, but it shouldn't be too bad. So here I'm going to have to activate Back in Time, which is a mechanic where if you hit the barrier with less than 2,000, it sends you back to the beginning of the level without any of your items, but you keep your gem count. So now I basically just play the game as normal until I get 2,000 gems, which you can get from this bat, thankfully. I really like that bat. It's kind of a meme. It's kind of a dead meme now, but it was a meme, and it was really funny. But it's over now, so you know, rest in peace. But I got to relive the glory days and kill the bat. So 5-2 is another level where we skip everything. It's another level where you're supposed to do a big trading quest, but because of a skip, you can skip pretty much everything. That's another owl skip I did at the beginning there. It's basically just movement around a cutscene trigger. So the skip here is going to be a formation menu clip. It's not nearly as precise as any of the other ones, but I failed it anyway just to show you what failing it looks like. Get them in the corner. And then you need to double tap Y. And that skips basically the whole level. The majority of the trading quest part, at least. And now we get to do arguably the worst Shadow Link fight in the entire game, which is awesome. Because I don't have an item, so I just have to slash at them and hope that I kill the right one. Okay, that was the right one. He was above land. If you wait too long to kill them, they'll go into these holes. And these holes are awful because you can't see inside of them. And that's my favorite thing in video games, where you can't see where you're going. But that was actually really good and not awful. But that can get really bad if the Link goes in the holes. So now I'm just going to float down the river. The river has a lot of gems, which is really good. So I'm just going to float down the river and try to collect gems. And at the end of this level is the second of the jewel fights. I have the powered up sword for this one, which is good because it means I can do a quick kill. Actually, I guess I had the powered up sword for the last one too. But, yeah. If you have a powered up sword, you can do a quick kill on the jewel fights.
Got a quick $100 donation from the Lemon Fairy that says, agree with this runner that Four Swords as solo is an underappreciated game. So putting this towards his Castlevania choice, yes, which I'm pretty sure is going to put Order of Ecclesia in first place.
That is sick. I'm happy about that. That's very generous. Thank you. So after two kind of boring levels where you skip everything, 5-3 is one of the most interesting levels in the run, in my opinion. There's lots of tricks and techniques throughout the whole thing. So I guess 5-3 has this gimmick, or mechanic, where you switch between the blue and red switches. It's like the dungeon in A Link to the Past that I don't remember the name of. So is that Turtle Rock? I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, that's what's going on in this level. So here I'm going to do a gap skip. And throw that bomb. So I need to move this house to the other side of the screen to destroy those spikes. But you can only move this house after you've blown 2 holes on the side, which makes perfect sense. Those just made it more aerodynamic so you can move it around. Oh gosh. Do you make a quick cycle on this platform if your movement's good? Do that first part. And then there's a quick strat to leave this room. If you go into the diamond formation and fall into that pit, you spawn in the beginning of the room for whatever reason. So here, you're supposed to hit these switches with the slingshot, which you can see on the right side there, but your sword works just fine. So here I'm going to do a tricky trick, where first I have to bait this guy over. These enemies are in the other side, or in the other world, the dark world, I guess. But if I line myself carefully there, I can hit that peg from the other platform. And what that does is it eliminates the need to get a key, or to use a key to access that platform over there. So now I can carry that key with me through the level, instead of having to use it on the key block. Okay. So I line and throw him. And throw him into that gap there. Pick up those hearts for safety. So here I have 2 keys, which you're not normally supposed to have in this level, but this is why the key block skip saves time, because I can use 1 key on this door, and then in this next room I can just use the key right here, and that skips having to get another key, so it's really helpful. This room you need to light all the torches. Here, if I press C down next to that, you can light that torch through the wall, which skips a pretty significant portion of that maze. I am not liking my gem count right now, so I'm going to grab those. And here I guess there's a puzzle where you have to do certain formations against the wall. And it opens. But after this is going to be the bumper guy skip, which is a pretty precise usage of calling the links over gaps. You can set the respawn point. Nice, I got it. To this platform up here. I'm also going to grab this. I don't think I need that, but I forget the number you need going into this fight. So this is Phantom Ganon 2.0. The one cycle on this guy is actually extremely easy. On the other guy, you can't one cycle him, but for whatever reason, it's free on this guy. The hard part is playing tennis, actually, because if you get knocked by the other Phantom Ganons while you're playing tennis, it messes up the whole thing, and it's just awful. But yeah, we got him. You know I had to do it to him. And I'm gonna try for a cutscene skip here. Oh, I failed it. So the other thing you get when you power up your sword is the Hurricane Spin ability. And you can use the Hurricane Spin to skip over that text. But it's pretty hard. I've actually never done it, so doing it now was kind of stupid. But you know. My boy Dan found that, so I have to do it for him. So that was World 5. Pretty good. World 6 is arguably the hardest world in the entire game. All of the levels have something in them that can just absolutely destroy you. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah. So if you couldn't tell, World 6 is the desert level. I actually really like the design of 6-1. It's like there's little towns, and you navigate through the desert to each individual town. Like you start it there, and then you go through, and then there's like an oasis, and then you can continue going through, but yeah. The gem route in this stage can be kind of annoying. It's one of the tighter ones throughout the run. Not as bad as like 4-3 earlier, but it can be a problem occasionally. Cool. So I also get Pegasus boots here. Pegasus boots, they aren't as good in this game because rolling in this game is so fast. Using Pegasus boots is only barely faster. But they do let me break some blocks like that one pretty quickly. So something special about this screen, this is the only screen in the game that has something like this. So if you see in the top right corner that portal to the Dark World, that portal opens and closes on a cycle. So I need to try and make it through this room pretty quickly to make a quick cycle. It isn't too precise, you can mess up pretty badly and still make it. Like I'm pretty sure I'm still on pace to make it. But yeah, it's something to be aware of. Yeah, made it. So 6-1 has a lot of usage of floating link glitch, which is something I very briefly did earlier. Basically the way it works is you need to do something that alters your z-axis, or z-axis, your up and down axis. So whenever you hit jump slash that cacti, you actually do go slightly up in the air. And if you don't stop moving after you do that, you are floating slightly above the ground, which let me go above those sand pits. And here's a bigger example of the floating link glitch, where I jumped and was holding an item in the air. And like I said earlier, pits in this game extend upwards, but these trap doors in 6-1 don't activate if you float over them with floating link glitch. And here I'm going over the cacti using it. So it's really useful in this level because you can just avoid the trapdoors. So I'm going to do a trick called double bonk. Oh, am I going to do a trick called double bonk? There we go, that's double bonk. So you have a tight window where you can press A and bonk again for whatever reason. It's one of my favorite tricks in this game. It's really silly. Use it again. So you bonk off of nothing. And yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna pick up a gem here. Waste a bit of time, but I just want to be safe. Yeah, just do that. And in this screen, I'm going to... uh-oh, I'm gonna fall in there, and... I'm fine. It's okay. This is perfectly fine. Okay. It was all under control. And here I'm gonna do another jump storage. I did one of these near the beginning of the run. And that lets me get up there. And here's another Shadow Link fight. This Shadow Link fight is kind of tricky because the way, if this is one of the ones where if you don't kill them all right away, it can get out of hand really fast. But if you kill them all right away, it's one of the easiest ones. So the only one that went inside was the one that was real, which is pretty awesome. So don't jump over there. He jumped over there. That's some pretty sick RNG. He jumped all the way over there? I've never seen him do that. What a hero. What? Oh my god. This game's sick. I love it. Oh, I actually need to pick up his gem. So that's some awesome RNG, because I killed 3 of the 4, and if it was just one of the 4 guys that one of the 3 guys that I killed, I wouldn't have had to do any of that. But because it was the one, I had to chase him down. Oh, I died. So dying in this game actually isn't really a big deal, because you just have to watch a small cutscene. The 4 spheres you get at the end of every level are your lives, but you get so many, there's no way in any real speedrun that you'll ever run out of lives. I have 27. 27 lives. So I can die 27 more times and still be fine. So that was 6-1. I got through it. That's about all I can say about that. So that's okay. There's another Jewel cutscene, so this would be a really opportune time for donations, if there are any. So at the beginning of 6-2, I'm going to be doing a trick called Ninja Turtle Clip. And basically the way it works is I'm going to be flipping over turtles with my hammer. And I'm going to try and use them to clip into a key block. And basically this will allow me to hit a switch without needing to use a key. And then I can save that key for later and use it to skip an area. It's all pretty precise. A lot of this trick, this is actually one of my favorite tricks. Because a lot of this trick is knowing enemy RNG. And like 99% of the time you can do this trick, it is possible. It's just sometimes it might be harder than others because you got a bad pattern. Also, this room is something. So these are the Ninja Turtles. Okay. That was a really bad pattern. He was really far away. I couldn't really get that to work. You need to be able to get him into position in 3 pokes. And when he's really far away, that really isn't even something that's feasible. Yeah. That was kind of also bad RNG. He was really far away. I was talking about how I like this trick, and now it's being mean. Okay, this is a good pattern. Yo, that was the sickest turtle skip of all time. I didn't mean to do that, but it worked, so you know. We take that. Or whatever. We take those. That was really dumb. I like it. So these eye enemies only attack you when you get close to them. And you can only attack them when they're attacking you. And you need the bow to attack them, so that's what I'm doing right now. Cool little strat there to light up both arrows, or both torches. This room is pretty awful. Yeah, you need to shoot it down first. You need to charge up your arrow shot, because if it isn't charged up, you can't shoot. Your arrows won't break the pots. Hello? What just happened? What did that arrow clink against? I wasn't even paying attention. So yeah, like I said, that room can be pretty awful, but we're through it now. So this Goma is really interesting because you can actually just throw the other links at her, and that hurts her for some reason. You don't have to hit her with a bow, and that is slightly faster because throwing stuff at her does more damage than the bow. So this Shadow Link fight is the one that's really awful. Basically, if it's not the first two, the other two are guaranteed to go into a portal, and that loses a lot of time. So I really don't want that to happen, and it did happen, so that's cool. So now I'm going to be losing a lot of time. But you know, I'll do it. Please stay here. Okay. What? That's not blue. Okay. So we made it through. 6-2. Next is 6-3, which also has a really hard, annoying trick. It's going to be early bombs, which is pretty similar to the skip I did in the beginning of 1-3. Not the one that took me 5 minutes, the one that took me 2 tries, thankfully. So, early bombs is a really complicated trick to explain, so I guess I'll start now. Basically, the way it works is I'm going to be doing something called a stunned enemy clip, which if you use a slingshot on an enemy, it becomes stunned. And when it's stunned, the game considers it to be a solid object, pretty much. So you can clip into it if you put it in the right position. So I'm going to be doing a stunned enemy clip into a wall clip. So basically, if you clip into an actor in this game, you can then move a Link into a wall, when normally a Link being in a wall would make it him void out. So then I'm going to move the Link into the wall using that glitch. And what that will end up doing is allowing me to clip into the center area. Because the main hub of this level is kind of designed like a bagel, and you have to get to the inside area to get bombs. That's kind of the level design idea going on here. But doing the stunned enemy clip into formation menu clip into the clip out is all very precise and tricky. And there's also RNG with the enemy. When he moves, you want him to move into a certain spot, and sometimes he can be uncooperative. But we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully it won't take too long. Move down. Thank you. Depending on how you feel this trick, there's actually a really quick way to set it up. The way I failed it the first time, I couldn't do it. But the way I just failed it twice, you can set it up again really quickly, which is really nice. Actually, is he clipped? I'm not sure he's clipped. It's not really a big deal. Just get him into position again. Whatever. There we go, that wasn't too bad. So I get the 1000 gem in here. I got bombs. And I'm also going to pick up that blue bracelet. Blue bracelet doubles your defense, which might be useful coming up. Like the heart containers, it doesn't carry over from level to level, so it isn't as useful as it might be. This is a gap skip to get over to this place. It saves a bit of time. Skips a puzzle of having to move some of the retractable floors. And there's a bunch of mini Moldorms in this room, so you know what the next boss is going to be. This boss is actually kind of interesting the way we fight it in speedrun. We use the floating link glitch. So we jump slash its head, and that gives us floating link glitch. And then as long as we don't stop moving, we'll keep the floating link glitch and he won't hit us. Okay, I didn't fall down. That was good. So that was World 6. I made it through. It wasn't too bad. It was not as bad as it could have been. I got the really silly turtle skip with the spin attack, which was neat.
Just like to remind everyone again that this marathon is here to raise money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. All these donations that you make go directly towards that, and there's a lot of really cool things you can donate towards for this event, especially some coming up soon. There's a a diss track happening for Super Mario Sunshine, where Chillin, the Smash player, will be dissing Chrism, the person he's racing. So that'll be pretty cool. He did a diss track last year, which was pretty dope.
The Chillin diss tracks are pretty good.
They are pretty good. And there's also some other donation incentives that are polls, and you can donate towards which DS Castlevania gets played later on tomorrow, as well as choosing the character for Guacamelee when that happens. There's a lot of cool things you can donate. Definitely check it out. If there's something that's interesting to you, then just go ahead and donate towards it. It goes to a great cause, and you can see some really cool stuff happen here at the marathon.
So 7-1, there's going to be a really crazy trick right off the bat called Early Power Bracelet. And this uses something called screen transition manipulation, which is a mouthful. We need to come up with a better name. But basically, if you slide on ice and then move into another room, your momentum carries, and it can even carry you out of bounds. So I use that to get out of bounds. And then I'm going to do a super jump up to this room, and then more out of bounds. And that takes me to here, the Power Bracelet. So yeah, it's pretty fast. I meant to not do that.
Real quick, we have $32 donation from Falco Buster saying, really enjoying this speedrun of a lesser run. Melee and speedrunning events are my favorite things to watch on Twitch, so this is the perfect event for me to donate towards. Thank you. We also have $100 from Original Mess saying, shoutouts to Cherry, Alicia, and the rest of the STR crew for putting on this great charity event featuring the Smash and speedrunning communities.
What's going on? Hey!
I do. Hi. I didn't. Why would I talk to you?
Hello.
Hello, Internet.
What's your deal?
Welcome to Game Theory.
I brought all the friends, VP.
Hi. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay.
Wait, so now that there's 4 of us, are we each allowed to play a character?
Yeah, you can pretend
Is
you're
this a
playing.
co-op run now?
Dibs on purple.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll take red. Yeah, how's the run been going?
It's been okay, except for the parts that haven't been okay. But, you know.
Yeah, standard.
So, what am I saying? Oh yeah, in this room, I'm going to pick up the medallion. And it is extremely important I don't accidentally throw this medallion.
Be careful.
I'll be careful.
Thank you.
Just for you.
Underscore VB, you really are a sweetheart.
Thank you. It's VB underscore now. Did you not get the memo?
I thought it was VB Speedruns now.
No. Well, for the official GDQ name, it's VB underscore now.
The artist formerly known as VP Speedruns.
So I got Fire Rod. This lets me burn the ice blocks. And it's time for everyone's favorite or least favorite part. If you like penguins, look away, because this is the Penguin Massacre.
Oh, no.
Burn, baby,
no.
burn.
I mean, I do like massacring these enemies, so that, at least there's that.
They look grumpy anyways. It's okay. They don't look friendly.
Well, I mean, if you lived at the South Pole, would you be happy all the time?
No. Guess that's fair. Is that where we are? Is that canon?
That's the new cannon. I'm going to go for
is the
this
South
trick
Pole?
a few times. I don't need to do this at all. Basically, you can roll through that wall by doing like 10 frame perfect inputs in a row. And in the optimal round, you can use that to skip the fire rod, but it's really hard and not marathon safe.
How much faster is it than just doing that?
40 seconds if you get it first try. But you could also waste 5 minutes trying it, so you know.
That sounds like speedrunning in a nutshell.
We have a $50 donation from Cumpy saying, special incentive, I'll match every dollar raised between now and 2 p.m. PDT. Total is at $12,564 as I send this, for the kids.
Hey guys, you have, what, 15 minutes. Get your donations in, and they will be doubled. I want to see that number go up.
So coming up is going to be the lobsters on ice fight. Yo, that was sick. I never get lobsters that good in PB attempts.
That pattern was amazing.
So now I'm going to be trying the jewel fight skip, which is one of the scarier skips in the run. Basically, I'm going to be doing the screen transition manipulation thing to get out of bounds on this screen. Okay. And then I'm going to throw the medallion. And the reason I throw the medallion here is because normally this screen is locked, meaning you can't screen transition out of it. Move. Okay. But if you throw the medallion, it unlocks the screen. I guess what the game does is it looks for a cutscene. And the game's like, okay, if a cutscene is played on the screen, then you can go out of it. You can screen transition off.
Just a cutscene?
Yeah, and normally you're supposed to do the cutscene that plays after that fight. But if you throw the medallion, that also counts, so you can move out.
Well done.
Thanks. That's a pretty scary skip. Because if you fall back into bounds, there's no way to do the skip anymore, and you lose like a minute and a half.
So you have to play the boss.
You have to fight the boss, and there's a cutscene afterwards.
We have an anonymous $50 donation with no comment whatsoever, so thank you, whoever donated that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very nice. 7-2 is another level that we consider to be one of the more technical in the run, because there's a lot of stuff going on.
I feel like every level in this game is just beyond technical, so...
I guess, yeah. The lever pulling is the most technical part. There's an AI manip coming up here. If I hug the bottom of this screen, these wizards will always appear in this pattern, and I can just kill them instantly. So in this room, I'm going to abuse the fact that when you call links over, they ignore gaps, and break this puzzle this way. You're supposed to use bombs to break all those tiles, but if you do that, you can do it a lot more quickly. Coming up is one of the worst rooms in the game. Oh, that was nice. Ice in this game is pretty awesome. You slide all over the place. So this level has the bumpers, which knock you all over the place. It also has the bomb shoes moving randomly. It's just really awful, and I don't like it. Pick up that gem, please. Thank you. This is one of the easiest Shadow Link fights because you can just stun all of them like instantly with the fire rod.
Alright, so we got a lot of donations that have come in after that challenge was issued.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have an
Awesome.
anonymous $20 donation. Thank you very much. We have $20 from Drew Babe saying, donation match, boys, PogChamp. Sunken donated $25 saying, for the kids. Westmo donated $15 with no comment. Mike Hayes donated $25 saying, "Donate now, you jokesters. Money goes towards Chillin's Chrism diss track." Me Cool Man
That
also
man's got a
donated.
good point.
Me Cool Man also donated $10 saying, "Match this." This guy's gonna have a lot to match up to.
Yeah. So in this room,
I'll wait a few moments.
you were intended to get the level 2 fire rod. You can actually level up your items in this game. It's something you really don't see in a speedrun. Hello. It's something you don't see in a speedrun because you can skip all instances of it. But in theory, if I could get this gap skip, you can skip the level 2 fire rod. And what the level 2 fire rod does normally is it creates platforms. So that's like the normal way to get through this room.
Is that why those question marks are there? Is
Yeah.
there-
You use the fire rod on those, and it transforms into a platform. So you can do gap skips and get across. This trick is like my least favorite in the entire game, but I got it, so it's okay.
My guy, I've got a quick question.
Is it what is it?
Where'd you get that gorgeous golden classic controller?
What?
That golden classic controller. Where'd you get that?
I don't know. I think eBay. Oh no, it came with a GoldenEye for Wii, but I didn't actually buy that game.
Oh,
I just bought
really?
it.
Wow.
The controller used.
Gotta look for one of those. Guys, we got 8 minutes left. We're still that guy's still gonna match those donations.
Yes, and we still got a few more that I can read right real quick.
Who's gonna snipe 13K?
We got
too?
$25 from Papa saying, "Double donations for the Keats. Here's money for the Keats." We also have $20 anonymously donated with no comment. Thank you. Astrak donated $18 as well with no comment. Rice's Nice Climbers donated $15. We also have $10 from Dawnbox saying, "I'm still not convinced those Dodongos were an actual boss fight." Legend of Link donated $8 saying, "Here's my 2 to the 3rd power to be matched." That's clever.
So something I did there was you're supposed to have level 2 fire rod to make a platform or to make a block to have all 5 switches down. But if you kind of like jiggle a Link between 2 switches, you can have him stand on 2 at once. I just opened the formation menu. I
That
guess
was
you have
neat.
control during that.
Oh, and VB skipped the cutscene by jumping and throwing that.
Oh
link
yeah,
into
there's
the
a small
forest.
text trigger that you can skip over.
Hey, 13K.
So, hey, that's sick. So the next level, 7-3, is pretty infamous for being the most boring level in the run, because there's no glitches, and most of the level is in the 2D side-scrolling view, which is really boring for speedrunning. So I thought I would try and do something to make it a bit more interesting. So I'm going to be playing 7-3 on this thing,
The box.
the Smash Box.
Oh boy.
To be topical to the event, and because I thought it would be an interesting challenge. So let me just switch these controllers really quick. The game like freezes when you switch out controllers, and sometimes it can crash. So I'm gonna save first. I also need to move the controller or the chair forward a bit because this wire is really short.
While you're setting that up, I'd like to say we have $15 from Rishi saying, "Chrism diss track, that's my dog." I should also mention all these donations coming in. You can also put those towards, certain incentives. So
like $500.
yeah, they're raising a lot.
It's kind of a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a really bad idea, but let's go.
I think it's a fantastic idea personally. Shoutouts to Hitbox for the.
So yeah, this is the
Smash
Smash Box. Oh god, it begins. I did this a few times in the practice room with this, so I feel decently confident, but not really. So we'll just see how it goes.
I hope you like the footstep sound because you're going to hear it a lot.
Mhm.
Does it feel more ergonomic? That's my
Ugh,
question.
I feel so ergonomic right now. That doesn't make sense, but whatever. We got it.
You tried. That's all that matters. Still got 5 more minutes in that donation match.
Mhm.
You don't think it's going to happen? I think it will. I got faith.
Oh god, why can't I do the thing? I blamed Smashbox. Actually, that wasn't Smashbox's fault. So here I'm actually going to do a little bit of a skip, I guess. This skip's needing to get the slingshot. If you do a jump slash off of that platform, you can skip having to get the slingshot and just use your sword instead.
So when are you gonna start doing the entire run with one of these?
Oh god. I actually think like if you started off playing with this, it could be good. But I'm just so used to the actual GameCube controller that I just couldn't. Oh god. What just happened? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
We did it.
Smashbox!
Shout outs to Smashbox.
Let me try plugging in the regular GameCube controller. See if that works.
I mean, to be fair, it might be FSA's fault.
No, it's probably the Smashbox. All right,
You
let's
said
try
the game.
this
The
again.
game is weird when it loses a controller input.
Yeah, like okay. I'm gonna ditch the Smashbox thing because it
that
just
could
isn't
be
working
that could be
anymore.
why. It could just be the way it puts out a signal.
Yeah. So that was a cool idea, and that
It
didn't
froze
happen
again?
at- Yeah. Well, no, because now I don't have a controller in.
Oh, okay.
Now it's good. That was really odd. I've actually never seen it do that. Or like I practiced that for a couple hours and it never did that. So you know, of course it happened now. Maybe I'll try and bring it back later. Who knows? I'll do the final boss on it. So yeah, 7-3 is really boring and awful, and I hate it. That was my review of 7-3.
It was a good review.
Good review, but I'd also like to mention we have $10 in a $10 anonymous donation. Thank you very much, no comment, and $2 from Life Has Many Doors for the kids.
Thank you, Ed Boy.
So, obviously this level is not totally crazy compared to a lot of the others, but how long did it take you to learn like the whole route for this game? Because it seems like incredibly chaotic to
I've been
try and
playing
do.
this game for like 3 years now, so I don't even remember really like when I first learned this. I guess I don't know. I guess I just watched YouTube videos. I guess the thing is when I learned it, it was a lot simpler because there wasn't as much tech. So I learned like the basic route and then just kind of adopted the new tech as it was found. So I guess it was easier back then. To learn it now would be really crazy, and I can't even imagine.
A friend of mine
Yeah.
started learning this,
Yeah.
about a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
I think within a few months he started to have it down.
There's a shot you can make there to make it up to that platform a little earlier, but it's pretty precise.
You're dropping gems, my guy.
It's okay. I know what I'm doing.
I hope so.
Oh god. I'm just gonna pick this up now.
So what is that you just got? Is it
I got
fire
the
rod?
fire rod, yeah,
Okay.
and that's gonna let me melt the big frog thing up there.
Oh, I see.
All right, we got 1 minute left to get those donations to match, and we have $5 from Monkeys Rule 75 saying, I don't have much money, but it's for the children.
Every dollar helps.
So these bomb trees are on a cycle. I'm on a bad cycle because I took a long time. I blame Smashbox. Oh, this is all Smashbox's fault, dude. Okay. Stupid Smashbox.
Shout outs.
I mean, Smashbox is a great product. I love it. It actually is pretty good. I don't know why it froze the game. That was kind of odd.
Yeah, I mean, we've had it with a few other things this event,
Yeah.
and hasn't had an issue yet.
And I played in the practice room and it didn't do that at all. Some tight jumps in that room to get through with solo Link, but it skips having to backtrack. That's what I meant to do. Yeah. This room's awful, and I don't know how to do it after having played this game for like 3 years. And this level's never really changed in the time I've been running this game. It's one of like 3 levels that's never changed. Because there just isn't much in terms of glitches that you can do in the 2D screens. But we're almost done with 7-3, thankfully.
I mean, the way you were making it out, I thought it was going to be like 20 minutes.
It's like 8.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
It's the longest level in the game. Except the final level.
I mean, it is longer than, I guess, at least 5 Zelda games.
That's
right?
true. You could do, like, 5 Link's Awakening any percent runs.
Yeah,
in the
Link
time
to
it
the
takes.
Past, Link's Awakening. That's what we do.
Zelda 1 Ace.
Zelda 1 with it, yeah. So
Link's
Zelda
Awakening
games are
DX.
short. Generally.
That's 4.
I think I have a pool to play right now.
Oh, yeah, you have to go play Smash?
I have to go play Melee. But,
Melee?
with my exquisite skill level, I'll be back in about 40 minutes.
I'm going to be done in 40 minutes. I'll see you around.
I'm the 0-2 master.
See ya.
Why does everything explode?
Because this game is the James Cameron movie of Zelda games. Or not James Cameron. Why'd I say James
Michael
Cameron?
Bay.
Michael Bay.
There you go.
Same thing. So Zelda's actually my favorite Underworld cutscene because she doesn't talk as much, so there's as much text to mash through. Which is kind of surprising because you'd think being an actual character, Zelda would talk the most. But she has the least text. So 7-3 is probably the most boring level, but 8-1 might be one of the most exciting. This level has a lot of formation hovers. Basically, the way formation hovers work, only sometimes, if you hold the C-stick while going over a pit, you'll just hover, and it's really odd. But you can use that to skip a lot in this level. This level's also the main reason we play on Japanese now, because you'll see I'm going to be doing some glitchy screen transitions. And you can only do those on the Japanese version. Like right here, I'm going to jump slash, and that'll transition the screen. That only works on JP, not English.
Do you use this on a lot of other levels?
No, it's just this one pretty much.
Is that pretty much the only difference between the versions? as far as
Yeah, you
speedrun?
save like 20 seconds in text in intro. But, yeah. There's another one actually, never mind, I forgot. I haven't gotten to it yet though. This is the final lobster in the game. He was just giving us I wanted to see him for longer, so I brought him back to life.
They're
Coming
pretty
up
adorable.
is the hammer skip, which is pretty awful. So I'm going to do a screen transition over a void, and when I respawn, I need to press L within a 6-frame window, and if I fail it, I soft lock and lose a minute, which is pretty awesome. Alright, I got it. Now I'm going to leave the screen, get these hearts, and come back. It's more of a safety strat. And I need to kill all the dudes killing this guy really quickly. Getting that throw up there is pretty precise. Another screen transition here. Oh, okay. And coming up is going to be the long hover over the pit. And you can hit that thing out of your hover.
You said all of those are 6-frame windows?
No, only the one.
Oh, okay.
And this is going to be the Dongo skip. So I die while rolling into the fire barrier. And during the death animation, the links kind of push each other around. And Red should have been pushed enough such that he can clip through the fire actor. I didn't get it. It's no big deal. Actually, I can go for this method. I can try this method. Okay. That method's really hard and requires like 6 consecutive frame perfect inputs or something.
What's the punishment for dying?
You lose a life, but you get so many lives it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
And you will have to watch a short cutscene. But like right now I have like 36 lives. And you only lose, you don't
So
lose,
you get a few tries
yeah.
at these tricks.
you don't lose 4 every time you die, you only lose 1, so yeah. And you get 2 at the end of every level, so yeah, now I have 38.
That was a pretty cool level.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So A2 starts off side-scrolling, but it will switch to top-down eventually. And the side-scrolling parts here are actually pretty cool, unlike 7.3, because there's tricks you can do. This strat I'm going to do here doesn't really save any time, but it looks funny. Oh, I failed it. What? I've never failed this in my life.
We've got to try it again then. Right?
Yeah, of course. Oh, no. That's... Oh, man. It's all going downhill. What? Okay, I'm just going to do it the normal way. That's really odd, though. I've literally never seen that fail. I think you get the gist of what I was trying to do, though. Get the squished link under the platform.
Yeah.
Jump slash. So, a fun fact about this game, I said this earlier, jump slashing is a 2-frame window. You have to press a direction and jump within 2 frames of each other to do a jump slash. So what I'm doing here is, I guess, a skip. There's a setup to do this pixel perfect arrow shot. Or not. Okay, I have to line it up manually. Okay, that was pretty good. To hit all 4 of those eyeballs. Normally you're supposed to ride the cloud along the bottom and hit all 4, but you can hit them horizontally that way. So here I'm going to do a skip, and it's probably one of the craziest looking skips as far as like the visuals go.
What?
Alright, there we go.
That was great.
So that was bomb skip. That was actually really good.
Dare I ask how that works?
I don't know. I don't know.
Good.
I don't think anybody knows. That's one. There's some tricks that like the tester knows how they work, but there's some that even like she doesn't know, and we just kind of accept them.
Alright, so I got a special donation announcement right here. Remember the one guy company who said he would donate match the dollar donations?
I do remember.
In the past 15 minutes, we raised $637, which he has just donated to us,
Wow.
as promised. Nice work, everyone.
Thank you.
Shoutouts to
Thank
him
you.
and everyone who raised that money. That's awesome.
So now I'm going to go to the top-down view again. So something odd about this is I do have the bow, but if I were to kill these wizards with the bow, they wouldn't drop their gems. For whatever reason. So I need to kill them with swords. In the old route, you would have bombs here, and throwing bombs at them also makes them drop their gems. So that's the downside of doing this route. And here I'm going to do the REM losing my religion skip, because you go around the corner. But that's the hammer skip. It's a hover to skip the hammer.
Wait, so they actually put walk tiles on those walls?
Hmm? Oh, no, that's a glitch.
Oh, okay.
Hover around.
Oh, okay, you're hovering. Got it.
Yeah, it's a hover glitch. I need to kill this guy. I might be a little short on gems, depends on what I get here. Oh, I think I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Coming up is going to be another gap skip, to skip needing to use the bow and lamp in this room. And here's one of the biggest skips in the run. Normally there's a fight with the Shadow Links here. It's the final fight with the Shadow Links. Sorry, you can skip
Nice.
it
Awesome.
just by doing that.
I love any skip with lots of screaming.
Mm-hmm. So we're going into the final level. I looked over at the timer, it says 4 minutes. I don't think that's good. That would mean I'm on super world record pace.
You're the
If I'm
best.
4 minutes in. I'll just take that.
You've actually been moving at the speed of light this entire time.
Wow. I wish somebody had told me before I did that. So here's
We wanted to keep it a surprise for you.
formation menu clip. Skip that barrier.
We have a
And-
$20.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I keep doing this. I apologize.
I died on the stairs, and that activated zombie storage. Earlier I got zombie storage by getting the out of bounds glitch and then dying, but getting it on stairs works too. So you can read a donation now.
All right, cool. Thanks. We have $20 from Chris saying, "Love watching speedrunning. Huge shout out to all the runners. For the children. Greetings from Norway."
So the way 8-3 normally works is there's a bunch of trials, 4 trials, and you go through each one, and you get a Moon Pearl, and you need to get all 4 Moon Pearls to open the door to get through the rest of 8-3. But there's a skip, so that we only need 1 of the Moon Pearls. Actually, what am I saying? We don't need any of the Moon Pearls, we just need this key. I was getting my items confused. They're basically the same thing, so it's okay. So now I'm gonna pick up these boots. Drop that key, and I'm gonna die. So now my zombies get activated. So now I'm gonna use this bomb flower is gonna replenish, and that link's gonna get stuck in the wall. And then I'm gonna clip back out. Okay. So now I need to move the link over to that door up at the top of the screen right now. I need to damage myself one more time. So yeah. And now I need to die again.
Are you having to do any inputs when you revive, or is it just like automatically set up?
It's automatically set up. The hard part is getting them to die in the right way to set it up, to set up the zombies in the first place. So I carried a key over from the before room, from the trial. So that lets me open that door, and it also lets me open this door without needing to get another key. I'm gonna pick up a heart container here. Hello? Thank you. And bonk a few times. So you notice I didn't pick up any gems, which is something I've been doing the whole run. This is the only level in the game where you don't need gems. Because the barrier isn't actually the end of the level, it's just the entrance to the final boss. So you can do a really precise formation menu clip to get past this barrier. Trick actually isn't very hard, I'm just really bad at it, even though I practiced it a lot. You have to press Y like twice in one frame. So I use the pause menu to separate it, but you can't buffer inputs out of the pause menu. So you still have to time it. It basically just makes it consistent for me, relatively. If I wasn't doing this, I'd just be tapping the Y button and hoping it works. There we go. So now I'm in the body fight. So this is something I'm really infamously bad at, is throwing these bombs into Vadi's tornado.
It's harder than it looks because you can't just throw them immediately. You have to like wait a little
Yeah,
bit
you have
for
to
them
time it
flashing.
so that the bomb is at the top of the tornado when it goes off. That might be too late. Oh no, it was fine. I need to wait. Oh god. This phase of Vadi can be really annoying because he can camp out near the top where you can't really hit him. Like this. Okay, there we go. So that's a Vadi. So because it's a Zelda game, it's revealed that Vadi was not the real final boss.
Shocking.
It was Bowser.
Yup.
Well, congrats in advance on your probably 15-minute world record.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get a 15-minute time. I can't believe it. This is it. The run. So unfortunately, you have to do tower collapse. And it's basically just an auto-scroller you need to escort Zelda through. You can do some cool tech though, like in this screen right here. You can do this.
I love this.
I guess the side-scrolling sections don't have a lot of clips and stuff, huh?
No, because you can't use the C. You can't do C formations. Oh, I'm gonna lose time on the auto scroller because I was messing around. That's funny.
She is taking her sweet time leaving this castle.
So I guess something to address is because I didn't get 2,000 gems, I don't have the powered up sword, which means my sword is doing the base damage right now. And that's bad because Ganon who is the final boss, spoilers, has a lot of health. So he takes a while to die without the upgraded sword. So here I need to be careful. I need to stand on the switch until Zelda moves off. If you get off that switch while Zelda's moving across that bridge, the game can soft lock, which is pretty great. Oh gosh. You can also soft lock here if you activate this text trigger in the wrong way, which is pretty funny. Oh god, he's going hard. Hello? Okay, thank you.
You're free. You did it.
Yay! Just walk out. Just walk out right now. Right now. No. You don't have to. So I guess the cool thing is you can. Oh, yeah. You can open the formation menu during that cutscene. It's just a thing you can do. So again in phase 1, the strat is hit him and take damage. So he has his trident attack, and if he hits you with the lightning from his trident attack, you get knocked into like this Dark World type thing. So what we do is we purposely take damage from him so that we're in iframes, so that we don't get knocked into it.
I was really hoping for Bowser. You tricked me.
I'm
sorry,
sorry,
Ron.
We need to make in the ROM hack. Bowser will be the final boss of the FSA ROM hack that's coming out in 2023. Also, when I was in the collapse, I picked up Blue Bracelet, which doubles my defense. Okay. So I'm at really low health right now. I should be fine, but maybe not. Who knows? So for the final phase, you need to knock 5 light orbs back at him. And he just kind of fires them whenever he wants to. Alright, that's 1. Get ready on time, by the way. Alright, 2. 3. He's being pretty nice. Sometimes he'll just never do it. Alright, that's 4. And time.
Good job, dude.
What's that time? I can't do math. Like
2:25:04.
Yeah.
2:25. Okay, that's fine. Considering I lost like a couple minutes to barrier skip and then some other stuff, that's a fine run. I lost like a minute to smash box.
It's always a fun run to watch. Hey, this might be the fastest time that's ever been done for the game.